It looks terrible from the camera.
Again? Tonight, almost live, it's American Tonight. 30 minutes of TV on the UBS network, located on the UBS Broadcasting Mall in El Tacoma, California, the unfinished furniture capital of the world, with the Hennessy family, who talk with their hips, Mario Dorset, who found God in the Mafia, with a special guest appearance by Mr. Roger Miller, who is our special guest, with the music of Happy Kind and the Mirthmakers, and me, I'm Jerry Hubbard. Hi, everybody. And now, here's your host and mine, Mr. Bart Kimball. Thank you, Happy. Thank you, Jerry. Very kind words. Good evening and welcome to America Tonight. I am Barth Kimball. Oh, you brought a whistle. That's clever. You know, there's been a lot of controversy lately, a lot of magazine articles about sexuality and just plain sex on television. A lot of people think the other networks have maybe gone a little over the line this year, and at the same time, I think folks have wondered why we here at UBS can maintain our record of being entertaining more often than not without taking our clothes off and crawling under the covers. Well, sometimes we should be under the covers. This is Jerry Hubbard. All right. Our undercover man. Well, we're human, and I guess we're just as human as the next human. Maybe not, but I think we certainly get the same thrill out of watching sex on TV on the other networks that everyone else does. But as General Donald Ungerwitter, and remember that name, he's the founder and the U of UBS, as he once said, you can draw as many flies with food as you can with garbage. And based on this vision, he had this vision after a big meal a couple of years ago. And based on this vision, he wrote the UBS Code of Ethics. And as a matter of fact, he wrote it right there on the tablecloth at dinner, and it's a tablecloth that we live behind here. I just thought you might be interested in knowing what it says, so let me share it with you. I have a copy that we did earlier today.
We still have the tablecloth in the back there.
Yeah, it's in the vault, but this is the actual thing. Now, these are the rules that govern the way we do our code of practices here at UBS. Number one, you can draw as many flies with food as with garbage. Now, he said that earlier, and of course, we want to Okay, number two, men should look like men. Ties and jackets are required. No turtlenecks or open collars before 11 p.m., and after that, you need permission, which I have. So. But that's a good one. Number three, no women in slacks unless necessary, to the development of the plot. And I think that's very important. Number four, and this is in capital letters here on the General's notes, prostitution, sexual perversion, and marital or conjugal practices are not appropriate subjects for comedy, drama, or documentary treatment unless essential to the factual depiction of the death of a celebrity, politician, or major sports figure. Number five almost goes without saying, no spitting on camera. Number six, in the context of a talk show or talk program, no handshake is to exceed 5 seconds in duration, because that could cause talk and a lot of...
I think we're safe in that department.
We didn't even shake at all.
No.
So we're well under. We could probably do 10 seconds the next time and still break even.
Sure.
Okay. Number seven, again, a quickie, no hands in pockets. Well, there you have it. The 10 Commandments at UBS, with room for 3 more if the General goes to another dinner. Okay, as you know, anyone with talent and or cash can be on America Tonight in a segment that they pay for called Money Talks. Happy?
If you got a song, some gripes or some squawks, let it all hang out on Money Talks. And being the gentleman he is, he didn't charge us for it.
That's great. All right, we have a guest here on Money Talks, the Hennessy's. And the Hennessy's are a family who've just returned to El Tacoma after living for 2 years in beautiful Hawaii.
It depends on whether you live there or here. The natives just call it Hawaii, but people who go there and come back like to say Hawaii.
Okay, pretty good. How are you? Anyway, while they were there, they
do
learned...
that with a lot of countries like Alaska, too. Alaska.
I'll ask her later.
Yeah.
We'll find out. Anyway, while they were there, they learned the hula. and that's big news.
Yes, it is. Now, the hula, as you know, is not only a dance, it's also a language of its own. Each, these movements tell beautiful ancient stories,
That's
as
true.
I understand it.
Well, you're absolutely right. And the Hennessy's use the hula to tell their own story of the 2 years they spent in 20th century Hawaii, or
right.
Hawaii. Well, they lived in both places. Kidding me again. Anyway, they can use our show to express themselves because it's their moolah and it's their hula moolah. They paid for this. So here are the Hula Hennessy's with their original composition entitled The House of My Dwelling. And we'll... Okay, 1 or 2 seconds. You got a minute. On your marks, get set, hula.
I dwell on the 16th floor of the Kahuna Towers condominiums. I have a perfect view of the Wahine Motor Hotel. In the morning, I awake to the sound of their garbage trucks. In the evening, my apartment gets cold enough to freeze the ears of a brass monkey. For my dwelling, it has no furnace because this is Hawaii. For yea, but my dwelling doth make me
Excuse me. I'm sorry, but that's it. That's all you paid for. And, did you buy some applause? Hey, what the heck? Why not? Let's go. Come on over here. Come on. Oh, there were 3 of you. I couldn't see. The couch was in the way. A little one there.
It'd be interesting if the sound went off on our TV, if people watching could just tell that story just by watching the hand
I'm sure
movement.
Hawaiians
If they'd been to Hawaii. Have to find someone who's been there in Alaska. But, do they know there's no talking now on the couch?
No.
Not even any wiggling around, because the way you do it, that would be a sentence, and that would be cheating.
Right. Well, it's going to be nice talking to you if you have some more money on you. I don't see any pockets, certainly not over there, so you must be broke, and that's it. So we'll be right back after these words. Thank you, Happy. We're back, and more than back, we're exceptionally pleased and happy about our next guest. There are probably maybe 2 young men in this country that are extremely good-looking, witty, bright, well-read, and have a way with a good joke, a good word, or interesting to listen to, and can sing and play guitar and everything like that. Well, I won't keep you guessing. I guess you don't have to. One of them's already here. Please welcome the other one, Mr. Roger Miller.
Are my arms tired?
This is certainly a thrill.
Oh, it's serious for you, I suppose.
Absolutely a thrill for myself and for Jerry Hubbard. You've met Jerry. I
Yes.
forgot to introduce you there at the time.
I'd like to meet him again.
How are you?
Nice
How are
to
you?
see you, yes.
Well, this is great. Yeah, did you bring your guitar with you?
No?
Surprise him, Jerry.
Oh, my.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I was hoping we were just going to be able to talk.
We interrupt this program to bring you the special UBS News Bulletin. This is Al Pringle at the UBS News Desk, which is compliments of Honeywell's Unfinished Furniture Warehouse, where attractive furniture is something else. UBS News has just learned that this morning's emergency earthquake warning for LTO residents was in fact a hoax. The Quad City Office of Seismology reports that the hoax was perpetrated by an irate cleaning woman at the office, Mrs. Wanda Jackson, who late last night tampered with scientific data and measuring devices. I repeat, there is no danger of an earthquake in the LTO area, and the 4,000 LTO residents who were evacuated this morning can now return to their homes. Oh, this bulletin was just handed to me. The 4,000 LTO residents who left their homes early this morning should return to those homes as quickly as possible, as there are now reports of widespread looting and rioting in that area. Marauding bands of hoodlums are now rampaging through suburban LTO. The extent of the damage is not known, but many arrests are reported. The first reported arrest was a Mr. Hartland Jackson, a welfare recipient formerly employed as night watchman at the Quad City Office of Seismology. We return you now to our regularly scheduled program.
All right, here's one that I think Well, it's a switcheroo kind of thing. Must have been sent in by Steve Allen. He's always doing that. It's kind of his trademark. What race is the sexiest, and what sex is the raciest?
I think the race is the sexiest is the marathon race that they do at the Olympics. Well, I've always enjoyed that one.
Yeah, they're doing
they
that
wear
no
those
bra
shorts.
now.
Yeah. Yeah. And what sex is the raciest?
Right.
That's hard to say. That's really so. It's so hard to say. In fact, I won't say it.
They always talk about the opposite sex. I guess it'd be the one you're opposite. Would have
Yeah,
to be the one.
probably so, yeah.
And each one knows who they are, I guess.
Yeah.
Here's an interesting one. Maybe you want to read this, or shall I read this?
It's a silly question. How come there are no Jews named Rusty? Well, it's kind of a generalized question there, and I guess they've done some research on this. I wonder why that does
I
seem...
met one named McDonald out in San Bernardino one time.
Is that right?
Yeah. It goes right with that.
I'll be darned. And of course, it's asked here also, are there any sport coats in China? Now, again, you wouldn't be an expert on that.
There's not too many sports in China.
This is true.
Ping pong, you can't wear a jacket, you know. I'd suppose it has a lot to do with that, wouldn't you think?
Okay.
Either that or people used to buy the sport coats and an hour later come back and return them, want another one. Everybody got all fed up. No more.
Half an hour later, you have to get...
Is that a real laugh? Okay. Oh, I thought I had him going there. I thought he had a song going out of that one. And I love when he does that because you know what I love when you do your songs? When you do those things like, dear, 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 down, down, down. Is that, you kind of like, when you forget the words and but in a record, you can do it more than once, can't you?
No, I'm epileptic, really. Sometimes it just happens at a record session. It comes on me, and I just can't help it. And that's how that came to be.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special UBS News Bulletin. An earthquake measuring 3.6 on the Richter scale has just hit the suburban El Tijo area. There are no reports of injuries to El Tijo residents, but several looters and rioters were hurt when the homes collapsed around them. Evacuated residents who are on their way back to their homes are advised to forget it. And all looters who are planning to visit the El Tijo area are asked to stay away. This bulletin just handed me. In sudden death playoff action, the LTO Burritos of the Quad City Women's Softball League were defeated tonight 6-5 in extra innings by the Altacoma Cougarettes. In midget play, the LTO Tigers lost by an 11-3 score to the Altaluna Lugers. It's not a very good day for LTO. We'll be back with more earthquake news and softball scores as they happen.
The melody always comes first with me.
Now, is that going to be ASCAP or BMI?
That'll probably be half BMI and half ASCAP. Yeah, split it up, you know, you can kind of...
Well, Frog, it would actually be ASPCA, wouldn't it? That's an animal. Just a thought.
Yes, it certainly would be.
Well, we have a number of other alleged guests that we'd like to get to this evening, and I realize you are double parked, and...
I just had a pain right here.
Oh, really? Well, we keep these around for that. If these will help. Those are vitamin C, B, D, E.
You want to bring on someone else?
We're going to have to break away right now for a commercial, but we'll be right back after these words. Don't go away. Thank you, Happy. Something very, very nice just happened. You know, show business is so full of wonderful, warm human events. People that maybe saw or heard about Woodstock, there were babies born and people died and things like that. Wonderful things that only humans can do. We just had a moment like that right here on America Tonight. I'd like to share it with you. Young Emily here just lost her tooth. Ladies and gentlemen, can you hold that up? Can you see that? Oh, I thought it actually came out. It's a plate.
It did.
I didn't know that. Okay. Never mind. I thought it was that cute thing when 4-year-olds lose their teeth and get a dime. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring it up. Okay.
Saves the tooth fairy a quarter, eh?
Yeah, those things are worth more than a quarter, though. You know, people from all walks of life have found religion and become reborn in recent months, and apparently, well, it's never too late for a sinner to be saved. I think even for a noted underworld figure, which is kind of interesting.
Yes.
It's my next guest, Mr. Mario Dorsey.
Let peace be unto you.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice to see you. Can I just kiss that ring quickly?
Yes, please do. Want to try one, Joey?
Thank you.
Better safe than sorry. Sometimes they're flavored, and I like to find out. So, peace unto you as well. Now, Mario, how did you become reborn?
Well, Boss, I lived a life of crime and violence in the underworld, for which I was sent to prison to pay my debt to society.
Right.
And while I was in prison, I ran across a copy of Charles Colson's book. You know the one I mean?
Sure,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And I read it, and I was reborn. Praise the Lord. And ever since then, I've been dedicating my life to helping others find the Lord.
That is fantastic, isn't it, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Bless your heart. Listen, I imagine you do this. Do you do the actual soul saving in a church?
Oh, no, not necessarily. Like, for example, last month, I was walking down the street with my 2 sons.
Right.
And we saw this man get thrown out of a bar.
Oh.
Now, I happen to know that he was spending all his money on demon alcohol. so we begged him to change his ways and come to church the next Sunday.
Sure.
And I said, "Be saved, brother, be saved."
And then what do you say?
She said, "Get lost." My sons used all of their powers of persuasion to get him to come to church. All of their powers. And sure enough, the next Sunday in Church of Miracle, I saw this man in the very front pew kneeling in prayer, in spite of his broken legs.
Broken legs, and he still went to church. That's wonderful.
Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
And I also knew a man who was cheating on his wife. Now, fellas, I can't bear to see a man do that.
No, of course not, because after all, we are all brothers.
That's right. And his wife was my sister.
Oh. Close to home there.
So I prayed. I really prayed that he get the message. Sure enough, once again, one night he's turning on the ignition to his car, and suddenly a bolt of lightning must have come down from the heavens and struck that engine, causing it to explode with the force of 2 sticks of dynamite.
Could we by any chance be talking about 2 more broken legs here?
No, 1 broken leg, 1 broken arm.
Yeah.
And my sons and I, we also preach the gospel to the store owners, see? We tell them they get nothing to fear if they join the flock. It's like living under the protection of the Lord, see?
Sure.
Now, some of these good souls get the message, some do not. And, Barth, it's sad to see the ones who do not get the message.
I can bet it is, yeah.
Because, you see, their stores are suddenly plagued with the most incredible streak of bad luck. Broken water lines, fires, busted windows, clerks calling in sick for months at a time, missing inventory. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I suppose that's what you call an act of God.
Yeah. And even those souls who don't get the message, even them, they come around after a while because, Barth, look, if you don't get the message, what good are their lives?
Probably not worth a plugged nickel, to be honest. Gee, it's wonderful to see someone so gung-ho on God, but isn't it true that your missionary work has caused some ill feelings between you and the minister himself?
Oh, well, a minister, he's kind of a little protective. He thinks that I'm muscling in on his territory. But I think he's overreacting because I happen to know the man has got some very, very serious personal problems.
Yeah.
But I know that one of these days he'll kind of back off. And when that happens, I'm sure maybe his wife might even turn up again.
We'll be right back after these words. Don't go.
Monday Saturday at 8 p.m.
I am not good enough when he is a bastard. And you can't even get past the church door because...
Hands off!
The Bastard, a world premiere story of passion. Young Philip Kent, cheated of his birthright, flees to America to become a major force in the American Revolution.
Still want to take up with us Americans?
You have stumbled upon something beyond imagination. The Sons of Liberty.
Thank you very much. That's Happy Kind and the Mirth Makers. Can we hear it for them? I think it's one thing to know the Scales. It's another to be willing to work for them, and we really appreciate that. It's really nice seeing you guys. In case you tuned in earlier, or didn't tune in earlier, I read the UBS Code of Ethics. I thought just in case you didn't hear it, I'd read it all again. Is that a good idea? Okay, that's our show for tonight. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks very much.
Celebrity guest stars on America Tonight receive a complete set of 4 dessert spoons from the Plate and Fork, makers of things you eat with and on. Also, a pair of his and hers barbecue mitts with a patented safety thumb for Orville's Hardware Emporium, where their motto is, Orville knows his tools. And from the Outhouse, suppliers of gourmet bathroom accessories, a matching seat, towel rack, and roll dispenser. Also tonight, some members of our studio audience will receive the following: classic furs from Ditto's, the Feel the Fit Company, pants to make every woman feel beautiful, in sizes 3 to 13 and 8 to 18, and Lillian Vernon's catalog gift certificate, jewelry, gifts, decor, personalized items, and things from practical to whimsical, furnished by Lillian Vernon, and Skin Quencher by Chapstick, the new fragrance-free hand and body lotion that softens, soothes, and comforts your skin. Skin Quencher. Also appearing on tonight's show were Amelia Overin, Emily Grace Overin, and Sherry Sohn as the Hennessy family, and Val Gould as Mario Dorset.
Monday night at 8, Channel 13 presents the world premiere of an explosive motion picture, The Bastard, with Andrew Stevens as young Philip Kent, born out of wedlock and forced to battle his way to a position of respect. And next, our feature, That Certain Feeling,